Hello and welcome to today's show. Today we're going to look at something that I didn't think I would ever consider buying. Printer. To be precise, a photo printer. Now, you could see that you need to look at a number of factors when you're looking at a printer. You have to decide on the size of prints that you wanted to print off. Now, when you're looking at size of prints, a lot of the printers will print happily anything up to A4, or there's the big A3 printer. Now, this printer is £129.99 from Prime Delivery for an Epson one. There is other brands. I am not endorsing this brand in any way. I am just showing a printer that will print A3. And to compare it, that the price. Now, it doesn't matter what else it has, what other things it will do. You are looking at £130 for a printer. Now, there is many printers out there which are a lot more than this, including a couple that Jared Poland looked at, and many others looked at some Pro printers which cost nearer to the £1,000 mark. Now, on this, do you really want to spend £1,000 just so you can print off your pictures? How many pictures do you have to print off to get your money back on the printer and hope that the printer won't break before you actually come anywhere near that? So I decided to get a printer. Shock horror, I say to myself, because I have put down everyone who says I'm going to buy a printer on the grounds that it was cheaper to send your prints off and have them done by a photolab. But some of the photolabs have changed, and when you look more closely, some of them for their prints have become not competitive about getting a printer and the paper and the ink and doing it yourself. So when we look at the printer, you have this A3 one, £130. How many times are you going to need a print up to that size? Now, remember that A3 paper is pretty expensive compared to the rest. We have the Epson ink paper, glossy paper here, for 20 sheets is £33.14. Now, the cheapest on this bit is 100 sheets matte. A double-sided A3 paper is £22.32. There you go. Well, that's not too bad. It's, but you're going to use a lot of ink to print on it. And if you're going to put your pictures on the wall, you're going to need some very expensive photo frames. Don't know what an A3 photo frame will cost, but it won't be cheap. And if you want to find it in the shops, when I got my printer, I went out and had a look in the shops to find the costs of how much photo paper costs just in an ordinary shop. Now, I think I only found one shop that had A3 size paper, and it was over £20, and there wasn't 100 sheets. So really, it'll be very hard if you went onto your high street to find A3 paper. So therefore, we'll rule out A3 as an option, and I will go more saying an A4 will print off your 4x6s, 5x7s, 10x8s, and A4. These are mostly more of the size that you probably might want to go for. And when you look at sort of that price range, you can go down as little as £23 for this Canon Pixma MG 2550S. Its resolution is 4800 by 600. Now, I didn't go for that cheapness, although I have bought a Canon Pixma. It isn't that one. I bought, I don't know if it's going to show up on this one, because I haven't drew down here. Oh, there you are. I went for this one. When it stops messing me about, I went for the Pixma IP7250. Now, Prima selling it right now at £42.95. The price has changed because it was £40 odd a few days, and then it was before that. When I looked at it, it was 43, just under 43 anyway. Now, why did I pick this version? Well, it actually has quite a high print resolution. It's 96 instead of 48, so it's twice of what that cheaper one is. 5 inks, but also when it came to buying inks, we have compatible inks that will go into it here, which are really what you're going to have to look at, because ink prices are ridiculous for the manufacturers of the printers. So if we look at the price of paper, A3 being £21 for 100 versus A4 paper, which you can get on Amazon for £4.59 for 100. Then you have the availability of the high street. For A3, very little availability, so therefore it's not really good. You're going to have to buy your paper or somewhere else. You need to look at how often am I going to print, what size prints do I really need, the cost to do it yourself versus the cost of a lab doing it. Now, on this cost, it's much more harder, on the grounds that a lot of 4x6 prints that the labs charge could be in the region of 9p, round about that price mark, and to buy photo print paper and then pay for the ink, the price difference between one and the other doesn't give you a big margin of saving. There is still a saving, but you have to really take the printer out of the equation for that and just run on price of paper and price of ink. Now, you ask me on that. Yes, I know, I can hear you saying, what do you mean, take the printer out of the equation? When you're looking at when you print, you have to look at the price of the printer, the paper, the ink, the electricity, and if you want, your time and how much it's worth. Now, if we minus off the price of electricity, because most of these printers nowadays don't cost that much to run. They don't have massive wattages like they used to. They print pretty quickly, so the amount of time that you're going to be there for isn't. Just looking up that, this one is 24 watts. Divide 24 by 1000 watts, which is the price of your 1 unit, and you'll see how many hours you can run this printer for before it even comes to 1 unit of your electricity. Now, if you're looking at the cost of the printer, if you stick to a fairly cheap, I'm not saying that the Pixma IP72050 is cheap, it's not the cheapest, but it does have a better resolution. So if we're looking at that, we're looking at £43 worth of money. You want to make that printer's value of what it prints come to more than that, so you can cancel it out. Now, there was offers from Photolabs for printing 50 prints at £1 each from Snapfish. It was an offer that they did, but their postage for them 50 was £4. So that equals £4.50 for 50 prints being done, 6x4s, which came to 9p a print. That's where I got my 9p from earlier when I said price thing. Now, a lot of labs charge anywhere from £1.50 upwards, and the lower the number of prints that you want to send in, the higher the price of the prints that you're going to get. So if you're spending £4 and you send in 100 prints, that adds another 4 pence to whatever the price of the print is. Now, having a printer, you do have some benefits. You have no waiting time for your pictures. You have them as soon as you say print it. Because this Pixar one prints them off at a whopping speed. You tell it to print and in less than a minute you've got your picture. Now, other benefit is that you can do low print numbers. If you just want to print off one, you're not spending £4 in postage just to have this one picture delivered to you in 3 days' time. But you're also able to adjust your photo, including the colour, whether you want a border or borderless. Now, other things that this printer has in its software that comes with it is what's called index. You can print off more than one picture onto one piece of paper. So if you use an A4 sheet, which would be a good idea for some of these sizes, or your pictures are going to be really small, you can print off 2 pictures, 4, 6, 8, 20, 36, 48, 64 or 80. So you can have 80 images. I have no idea what size they'll be on an A4 piece of paper because I've never tried to take them yet. So yes, it may take your time to print your own, but it takes you time to find a cheap photo lab, to download your images, to select what you want to do with them, and there is still the chance that the photo lab will mess your images up and they won't look how you expect them to look. They won't look as you get them out and you put them on the screen and compare them against the pictures that you took. They might be too dark, they mightn't have centered the photo properly, and you could cut off something that you don't want cut off. So my thought was the simple thing. When I got this printer, came with a set of inks. So I ran the set of inks, and we'll look at this in the cost of owning a printer and how much it costs and papers and inks and all of that in another video. But right now I am very happy with the results that this printer has given me. I am very happy indeed, because I just don't believe it, how fast it is, how lovely the pictures turn out. So even if you're going to print off just a handful and you don't want to rely on a lab and spending that much money getting them to do some little tiny prints, then this is a viable offer, a viable thing that you can get, and it may encourage you to take more photos, because once you see the results of your pictures and you put them in a frame or you just put them up somewhere so you can look at them, it should encourage you to get out and take more pictures so you can have more great results and learn time after time what it's like. Now, I hope this helps. The prices are all set at the time I did this video, which is in 2017. There is other options. I am not saying this is the best one, but this is the one that I decided to go down. So it's free choice. You keep taking your photos. We're keeping it simple here. So please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.